Peru, in the heart of the Andes Cordillera, the kingdom of the Apus, the Inca gods. Forbidden mountains where the Apus promised death to any human who dared approach. 5 centuries later, the legend lives on. But there is a bold handful that defies the decree of the gods without a second thought. Among them is Juan Carlos, who takes the Cordillera route twice a week. And not without a certain pride. To drive on this road, you need nerves of steel. You need it in your trousers. You gotta have balls. Be a real man, because the slightest mistake, and you're dead. Especially into the narrow single-track tunnels. In these sacred mountains, the only way to drive is with the horn. Tunnel or no tunnel, from morning till night, Juan Carlos travels at breakneck speed. Each tunnel exit is a lottery. There could be an oncoming vehicle or rocks from a landslide. The mountainsides around the tunnels are rarely reinforced. You can't drive on this road if you're scared. The other day, a landslide almost knocked me into the ravine. When Juan Carlos takes his foot off the accelerator, it's not because he's afraid of death. It's because of the price of spare parts. I could go faster, but it may break an axle. To avoid accidents, you have to slalom between the stones. Peru's rugged geography causes drivers no end of problems. To get across the Andes, there are a few paved roads, but winding trails that snake to dizzying passes 5,000 meters high. There are a lot of corpses at the bottom of the ravine. Along the narrow roads, it's not uncommon for a truck to slide into the void. Now we're done. The bus began to reverse, but its weight dragged it over the edge and into the ravine. 40 people were killed. In Peru, they rely on shamans to ward off the evil eye. We chase away evil spirits from the body. At the foot of the Cordillera flows the Amazon, the largest river in the world, in parts some 40 kilometers wide. Its monstrous, treacherous, and indomitable waters crossed by hundreds of ships. And passengers can remain stranded on sandbanks for weeks at a time. Trujillo on the Pacific coast of Peru. Nothing much has changed since the time of the Incas. Today there are surfers, but the fishermen still use boats built from reeds like their ancestors before them. Juan Carlos set up his company here 6 months ago. The idea came from his father. He used to take his son with him as he drove his truck. It's an addiction his father today regrets he passed on. I've seen many accidents, often very serious ones. Falls, car wrecks, fires, collisions. Many of my friends have died in road accidents. Juan Carlos does more than just drive. He also buys and sells goods for his own account. Today he's taking an enormous gamble by transporting 260,000 eggs across the mountain roads. They're fragile, but the eggs are well packed. They're securely attached. It should hold. Yeah, but if the truck has an accident, it might make a good omelette. It's happened to colleagues whose trucks have overturned. The cargo is not insured, and Juan Carlos has invested all his savings in the venture. If there's an accident, it's almost certain his business will go under. It's a tough bet. To get to Yungay, the town where he's to make the delivery, means traveling 300 kilometers on rugged terrain. He must never slow down nor even stop overnight, otherwise he'll be late for the marketplace. I usually arrive at the market in the morning at about 7 or 8 o'clock. If I'm late, my competitors will have sold their goods to my customers. Juan Carlos has planned everything to his own advantage. He's stealing a 5-hour march on his rivals. But just 2 hours later, at the entrance to a tunnel, he's forced to stop. 2 cars have collided. What have you done? Well, it's your fault. You could have gone round that way. You could have gone that way. The accident isn't too bad, but it's created a huge traffic jam. The tunnel has only 1 lane, and by the time it's cleared, Juan Carlos has lost 2 precious hours. To make them back will take time. Even if he's the macho he claims to be, he's scared of accelerating. A few weeks ago, he pushed the engine so hard, it finally gave up, and he almost lost his life. I was on a very steep descent, and my brakes failed. I tried to stop, but the truck had picked up too much speed, and in addition, there was the weight of the cargo. Can you imagine? If I'd been a coward with nothing in my pants, well, I would have jumped from the cabin. But I'd be dead, crushed by my own truck. But I kept my composure. I spotted a large rock and I pointed the truck towards it, and it stopped. It's a long night for Juan Carlos. There's no rest, let alone a break. He needs to be doubly careful now to maintain his slight lead. But luck is against him, and once again, a few kilometers further on, he's forced to stop. A bus has broken down, and another is trying to tow it. I need to make a loop in the cable, then tie it on. Here we go, and then attach it. That's fine, let me put it on. In the Cordillera, buses are the only way to go from city to city. Ancient and often poorly maintained, breakdowns are frequent. Passengers have little choice but to wait. They should check the state of the bus before leaving. The bus was making a really funny noise for about 10 minutes and then it just stopped. And we've had it now. They've been waiting for more than 3 hours. There's nothing to eat. There's no water, and no one knows when we'll be moving again. The road is poorly maintained. There are landslides, cars going off the side, a lot of people killed. These passengers are not willing to go home quite yet. As they wait for the tow truck, the drivers have managed to get the bus onto the side of the road. The road is finally cleared, but by now Juan Carlos is late. His lead has melted away and he has no choice but to go flat out. But the bumps could damage his precious cargo of eggs. Yungay is still another 20 minutes drive. Juan Carlos is afraid that his clients will buy the competition's eggs. He does his sales pitch over the phone. Hello. Yes, I'm coming. We can talk when I arrive. It's 7 in the morning and Juan Carlos finally arrives just a few minutes behind schedule. He checks the condition of his cargo. So, did it make it? Yes, everything is good. But sometimes you have problems though, don't you? Well, of course. I could have lost the cargo back there. Juan Carlos has just enough time for a quick breakfast before the return journey and a new shipment. Yungay, population 20,000, is one of the few towns of any size in this remote valley. As elsewhere in the Andes, the women wear their distinctive hats, a custom forced on them by the Spanish conquistadores. Each tribe was given a different style. It was one way to recognize and control them. And somewhat bizarrely, the Indians have kept up the tradition. Each kind of transport in this part of Peru faces its own constraints. The bridges, for example, are rarely capable of supporting more than 20 tons. Pedro checks his load of cement is within the legal weight limits. Pedro's heading to the other side of the Cordillera, 350 kilometers, over some of the highest peaks in Peru. His destination is Huancrachuco, the last town in the Andes before Amazonia. Barely 20 kilometers out of Yungay, the road turns into a dirt track. There are quite a few abandoned roads that are no longer repaired. The government just forgets about us poor people, we peasants. On the horizon, the White Cordillera and Huascarán, at 6,700 meters, the tallest peak in all Peru. It'll take 15 or 16 hours to reach Huancrachuco, but occasionally, because of potholes and landslides, it can take up to 2 or 3 days. To start with, the road is easy. Pedro drives quickly and safely. But as the mountains loom ahead, the road narrows to a thin strip of dirt. It's the same track messengers would take in the days of the Inca emperors. Come on, come on. When it's this narrow, I need to be able to see clearly out of my rear-view mirror. Between the ravine and the mountainside, the track is just wide enough for the truck. This is where the path starts to climb to the peaks, 4,000 meters up. The warning signs are a reminder of the extremely dangerous bends ahead, and the so-called Bend of Death. I can't drive too fast because of all these bends. The truck is heavy, and because of the poor road, if I go too fast, I could tip right over. And tipping over here means ending up in the bottom of the ravine. Fatal accidents are common. Recently, one experienced bus driver was careless. The incident happened here, at the top of the climb, on the so-called Bend of Death. He was trying to make the curve, the turn here, but he didn't manage it the first time, so he stopped. And then he began to reverse. But suddenly the weight dragged him backwards, and the bus fell into the canyon. 40 people were killed. Their relatives have put the crosses and the small altars here. A short distance further on, Pedro stops to check the tires. But he hears an ominous whistling. Yes, I need to patch this up. It's a puncture. I have to do it because one wheel won't be enough for this truck. You're meant to check these things. Instead, you're just sitting in the truck doing nothing. Is it difficult to change the wheel? No, it'll take about 20 minutes. Altitude 4,000 meters, and there's not much oxygen. Any physical effort is painfully difficult, so maneuvering a 100-kilo tire is hard. It's a stone that made this hole. Instead of 20 minutes, Pedro and his assistant take almost 2 hours to repair the tire. It's very tiring. The wheel is too heavy. But I like this sort of work. I like traveling along the road, discovering new places. It's good. Pedro's behind schedule, but he's still hoping to make it before nightfall. In the Andes, the roads may be tough, but they do at least link all the towns in the Cordillera, apart from one. And that town is Iquitos. In the jungle, in the middle of nowhere, its 400,000 inhabitants are cut off from the rest of the world. There are no roads. The only way in is by boat or by plane. People have got used to doing without cars here. They get around on scooters or on bicycles that have been shipped in along the river from Yurimaguas, 400 kilometers upstream. The commercial port at Yurimaguas is not much to write home about. But the unkempt riverbank is where the boats that supply Iquitos with food and goods are loaded. This ship, the Eduardo VI, is ready to cast off. In the hold, they're loading 30 tons of fruit and rice. Iquitos is a sprawling town that swallows up everything. In just 2 hours, this entire cargo will disappear. Nothing will be left. In addition to food, the Eduardo VI also carries animals. And on the upper deck, passengers. 300 altogether jammed together in hot, sticky conditions. Woof, it's so hot. And we still need to wait. There are no cabins. Everyone finds what space they can. This rope can easily come undone. You need a proper knot. Most of the passengers pay after they've boarded. The fare to Iquitos is the equivalent of 30 euros, a week's average wage in these parts. Many try and sneak a free ride. There are plenty of fake tickets, but this helps me to detect them. On board, being multi-skilled is essential, from selling tickets to piloting. Captain Rafael does everything. He's been sailing this river for 30 years. He knows its pitfalls, and yet just last year his boat sank, almost taking all hands down with it. Well, a year ago we hit another boat and sank. The water reached the second level here. The cargo was lost in the water. Before casting off, Rafael puts on his uniform. That's the whistle. We're leaving. Engines on. Come on, let's go. Madam, put your bags over there. You can't block the emergency exit. Let me through, let me through. Hoist the gangways. The ships are berthed one on top of the other, and extricating oneself is tricky. Push it a bit, we'll get through. Go on, keep shoving. Keep going, go on. Keep pushing. That's good, we're through. It takes at least 3 days to sail down to Iquitos. In the dry season, it's even more complicated. You see that? That's sand. The channel is over there. The rest are all sandbanks and very dangerous. You need to navigate through the middle, where the water's deep enough. I swear you need a good eye to avoid running aground on the sand. The pilots take it in turns at the helm every 6 hours. They need to concentrate 24 hours a day. Eyes peeled on constant watch for the sandbanks. The currents are always changing, and the Amazonian river pilots have to navigate by guesswork. Late in the afternoon, a violent storm strikes the Amazon. The curtain of rain reduces visibility, and the pilot can no longer spot the sandbanks, and he needs help to steer a way through. Go this way. Keep going this way. More to the left. A little more. See? The channel's gone. Turn the wheel this way. This way. It's too late. The boat is no longer in the channel. Stuck between two sandbanks, the vessel is now firmly in the grip of the current, unable to steer and heading straight for the riverbank. We can't get out. The level is too low, there's not enough depth. It's too narrow, and I couldn't maneuver. Forced to go straight. For the time being, only the bow of the ship is stuck. It needs to be freed before the whole ship gets bogged down. It shouldn't ever really happen, but it often does. Now we're stuck here, and maybe we'll get stopped further down too. This will mean a long wait. Oh, well, we're delayed now. So what can you do when this happens? Well, if the ship gets stuck even more, we'll need to lighten the load and put the cargo onto another boat. But it's a very slow process. We need to get back into the channel urgently. Two sailors head out to check the depth of the river to find a route out. All they have to measure with is a pole. 2 meters 40. They've found deeper water, and after reversing, the boat is finally free. We're at 2 meters 40. That's it. The water's deep enough. We'll head that way. 2 meters 40. 2 meters 40. 2 meters 70 here. 2 meters 10, it will be enough to get through. .240. To be safe, we'll continue to take depth measurements all night, at least for another 12 hours, and all through the journey. The Eduardo VI has scraped through, and for now at least, there's 2 more days on the river before Iquitos, their destination. Up in the Cordilleras, Pedro is now on the toughest part of the journey for his truck. A succession of mountain peaks, forcing him to constantly alter his speed and let the clutch in and out. The abuse is wearing out the engine. On the dashboard, there's a warning light. The radiator is overheating, and the needle's in the red. That's not right. Look, it's heating up. It's over 98. There's a hole in the radiator. There must be a leak. Now we'll need to keep stopping to add water. The good news, though, is that in these mountains, there's plenty of water everywhere. It's spring water. It's like cooling fluid. Come on, we need to get on if we want to arrive today. Can't hang around here anymore. But soon there's another problem. It can't climb anymore. The overheating has damaged the engine, and Pedro can't figure out what's causing it. Luckily for him, in the Andes, the drivers help each other out. Hi, how's it going? Listen, my engine's rolling over nicely, but it can't climb. It keeps stalling. That's the diesel oil. Oh, right. There's probably dirt, and it's blocking the filter, and that stops it going through the engine. Okay, thanks very much. If that's all it is, it can be repaired in the next village. But if it's more serious, then it's an end to the journey. After the next bend, there's a bridge. It's one way of checking whether the truck is not overweight.
20 toneladas máximo.
No, this is risky because some of the planks are rotten. We could fall through. It could collapse. I'm 19.5 tons. 500 kilos under the limit. Nevertheless, crossing is risky. The key is to get across without shaking the planks too much. By about 10 at night, he finally finds a garage. In these remote mountains, it's not good to break down, and the mechanics work day and night. It's the moment of truth for Pedro's truck.
This is
what there was. The diesel was filthy. The dirt blocked the filter. Even if there are so many problems, what can I do? It comes with a job and you accept it. I need to make a living. Oh, I think that's better now. A little further up in the village, there's an unusual commotion that's blocking the traffic. Thousands of people are marching to the sound of drums and flutes. All are heading to the same place, the valley of Kyoluaritty. They've come from all over Peru to take part in the largest pilgrimage in Latin America. The celebration of the Virgin Mary and Viracocha, the Inca sun god. "100,000 faithful have undertaken to travel for 3 days and nights to pay homage to them both. Among the dancers are the Ukukus, who according to legend are half man, half bear. The mock fight represents their strength and resistance to pain. Bizarrely, though, their voices are far from virile. They're high-pitched. Tradition has it they disguise their voices to avoid being recognized. But not all are here to dance. The majority of the pilgrims trek up the mountainside for hours without flinching to reach a small sanctuary. But only a few pilgrims are allowed to enter and implore the gods of Kyoluaritty. People visit the sanctuary of Lord Kyoluaritty because he can perform miracles. Many people believe he can make them healthy, get them a good job, and many other things. Those who can't enter can always visit the Miracles Market. I'm selling houses, cars, land. Who wants some? The fact is, the woman is selling dreams. Rectangular stones symbolize houses. The toys, cars. Purchasers believe they might see their wishes come true within 12 months. Here are the fake documents for buying a car. Here's the receipt, the sales certificate, driving license, and the tax sticker. You can get a car with these. Fake US dollars, to be precise, bought in this fake bank. $30,000 for 30 cents. At that rate, a make-believe house would cost about €4, twice the daily income of the Indians. Need a solicitor? This way. This Indian couple have just purchased a house. The fake solicitor officially registers the sale. Who is the buyer? Jorge Amaraya. We're also buying land. Have you really bought it? Yes, but the papers, well, they're a joke. In addition to couples, there are also students here to buy entry diplomas. But will you actually study? Oh, yes. To get a place, you need to leave your wish to the Lord. And that's why he's buying his admission, so his wish can come true. Of course the wishes come true, if you really believe in it and have faith. The last day of the pilgrimage is the most important. Only the privileged can carry the crosses. After hours of climbing, they'll reach the glacier, 5,600 meters up, and that much closer to the heavens. Whether their gods are Christian or Inca, the Qiurluuriti faithful hope their prayers will be heard. To Pedro, who is delivering cement, it's one thing after another. He's got another 350 kilometers to go, but he's been on the road for 2 days already, and his trip seems interminable. To avoid the rainy season turning the route into a swamp, workers are surfacing the roads with stones. To Pedro, what they're doing is a waste of time. Why are they putting stones down? They'll need to take them up because the weight of the trucks will shred the tires like razor blades. And the stones might also cause the tires to burst, which is what happens next to Pedro. The stone gets in between the two tires. You see? And with the pressure, it will burst one of them. Usually the driver doesn't even realize it. Changing tires in these conditions can be dangerous. If you inflate a tire and this part of the rim is not properly placed, it could come off and hit you in the face. But these metal bars provide protection. But a lot of drivers and mechanics have been hurt or killed by the wheel rims breaking their necks. Pedro has another 60 kilometers to go, the hardest part. What time is it? It's 2:38. 2:38. Well, we might make it by 8 or 9 p.m. if we don't stop. It's unwise to drive here at night. There are bandits in these remote mountains. They could block the road with rocks and then rob us. Until recently, this region was a stronghold of the Shining Path Maoist guerrillas. They fought the authorities for almost 2 decades to impose a communist regime. When their campaign ended, not all the guerrillas returned home. Some had become highwaymen. Recently, they'd held up a trucker on this stretch of road. It's now midnight, and Pedro has finally reached his destination. But he gets lost inside the village. In Peru, signposts are rare. The parish should be that way. I don't know which way to go. I think we'll sleep here and we'll find my way tomorrow. Pedro took 3 days to cover 350 kilometers, an exhausting journey which earns him less than €5. It's day 2 of the Eduardo VI's trip on the river. The 300 passengers rush into the restaurant at the same time. On the menu are meat, rice, and bananas. There's only one person serving, so it could be a long wait. Well, it's not great, but it's all there is. Otherwise, what would we eat? There are so many people that those at the end of the queue will go hungry. The Eduardo VI is the river omnibus. It stops in every remote hamlet, which is welcome news for the villagers. They can make a few pennies by trading with the passengers. Their life is hard. They're a long way from towns and commerce. They only know their hills, and they live off hunting and fishing and eat bananas mainly. Dozens of women gather to sell their wares, such as grilled lava kebabs. And more expensive goods, too. The small parrot is €3. €3. Well, it's against the law to sell those. People buy them and take them to Iquitos. But the police might confiscate them, so they drug them and hide them in their baggage. The monkeys, parrots and parakeets are all sold as pets. But not the coati. It's a baby, it's very small. The coati is much prized for one thing. For a small bone in its penis. You put several in a bottle and mix it with schnapps, and you get achinyu. Old men drink it for its remarkable effects. It's better than Viagra. Ancestral remedies, not just to invigorate, but as cures too. Along the river, medicine is rare, so the native Indios turn to healers, the shamans, who invoke the spirits to ward off evil. As with this small boy suffering from malaria. The doctor couldn't help him, and it will take 2 or 3 sessions to make him better. My father healed this way, and my ancestors too. The shamans get their skills from the plants in the forest. This is ayahuasca, which is a creeper with mysterious power. It's been used since time immemorial, when there weren't any doctors yet. It's It's the only ingredient he was willing to reveal. The rest remains a secret. Especially since the wrong dose could prove fatal. If you use too much, it might make you mad. It's like a short circuit. Many people have died. But we healers know what the right dose is. The shamans are more than healers. Thanks to the mystical creeper, they have other powers. This man wants his wife, who left him, to return home. This young Indian woman wants to get pregnant. The third patient has painful stomach cramps. Before the ceremony, each of them has to swallow a bowl of a magical extraction.
El pan nuestro cada día danos de hoy, perdona nuestras deudas, así que nosotros perdonamos a nuestros deudores. Y no nos dejes caer en la tentación, mas líbranos de todo mal. Amén. Dios te salve María, llena de gracia, Señor es contigo, bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres y bendita es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús.
The immediate effect is to make the patients vomit. Then they fall into a hypnotic state. Ayuska is so strong it provokes visions. You can communicate with jaguars, tigers, anacondas. And these animals can draw out the illness within the body. The sickness is like a black smoke loaded with negative vibes. The plant acts like a magnet on this man, for example. It attracts the woman, and so the couple can be reunited. That's the power of Ayuska. May God bless you. The Eduardo VI is due to end its journey. It's been a hard trip. This is where two tributaries join the Amazon, and this is where it becomes the largest river in the world. Now we're on the Amazon, the most unpredictable river in the world. You can see the power, see the whirlpools down there. When the boat's overloaded, those could suck the boat in and sink it. That's why we need to be careful when we navigate these waters. By the end of the day, they can see Iquitos. Journey's end. Go to K19. Sorry, careful, mind the gangway. Every week, a dozen boats like the Eduardo VI supply Iquitos. For the town without cars, the River Amazon, despite all its dangers, remains the only link to the outside world.